right. Good morning, everyone. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes for everyone to start getting online. We have about 140 people right now, so we're just going to wait just a little bit. Thanks so much. So Steve, we have people from Buffalo, from Mobile, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, London, Ontario, Canada, Southern Oregon, Baltimore, Phoenix, Tucson, Wilmington, Delaware, Chicago, wow, all over, Scottsdale, Gilroy, California, Santa Cruz, Redondo Beach, Brooklyn, Boyle Heights, yay, Anaheim, Visalia, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Fresno, all over, Ventura. Welcome, everyone. Just another minute while everyone gets settled and logged in. Just another minute, Steve-O. We're at almost 300.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
So, should I start?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Today is our thought of the day. G had it yesterday, and my name's Steve Avalos, and I have the thought of the day today. Today, my thought of the day is on connect and heal. Listening to everything from yesterday and what's going on, for me, that's what comes up. I mean, right now, you know, all over the world, right, especially in California, unemployment is high. The COVID virus is still on the rise. Social injustice is still taking place, and it's easy. It's easy to shut off the TV. It's easy to disconnect and just put on our mask and keep our distance. But the truth is, we all need to connect at this time, and connection heals. I know for me, being a homeboy, that's one of the things that brings me back to life. And the other day I was getting ready and I said, all right, I got to be a homeboy at 7 in the morning. So I go and I get all my stuff and I'm trying to be quiet. I don't want to wake up the kids, and I get all my stuff and I go downstairs and I get in the car and I say, oh, shoot, I forgot my backpack. So I go back in there, get my, go in the house, I'm getting my backpack. And then all of a sudden I hear, Daddy. And I turn around, it's my 4-year-old daughter, and she got her hands on the hips and she's squinting. Were you gonna leave and not tell me goodbye? And instantly, I kid you not, I got on my knee and she just came running to me and I just held her. Connection. Like we all need it. Changed everything, the way I felt. you know, what my mind was thinking, where I was going. It just slowed everything down, connection. And I say that because at Homeboy Industries, I really feel like that is a secret ingredient, the relationships, the healing piece. Recently, with this COVID going on, one of the homies, he had just got out, and he came over to Homeboy after 22 years in prison, 16 years old, and he comes into Homeboy. But when he comes to Homeboy, he had um, he had picked up a habit in prison, you know, with substance abuse and stuff like that. And so when he came into Homeboy, he was positive for a lot of things. So, but do you want the help? And he said, yeah. So we try to get him the help, get him in a program, get him right, bring him to Homeboy. We get him in a program, and within 1 week, he was already kicked out of the program. Put him in another program. Within 1 day, he left that other program. Then he turned around and went and started going back to substances, and he comes to Homeboy. That day, I was sitting on G's desk, and he comes in and he sits down, and he's frustrated and he's mad, and we try to get him in another program when he got there, and that program wouldn't accept him. And he got his mask on, and he's trying to tell me, and he's talking, and he's frustrated, and I see it. And I just tell him, I say, we got you. So if you want the help, we got you. But he keeps talking, and he keeps talking, and I'm listening to him, and I'm hearing him, and he's going on and going on. In my mind, I'm thinking, can't you hear me? I already said we got you. No matter what, we'll find a place. If you want the help, we got you. And then finally, I'm looking, and he won't stop talking. And finally, I stopped hearing him, and I started listening. He knew we had him. And it changed everything. When I looked in his eyes and I seen he was crying, it changed everything. For the first time in his life, from a 16-year-old kid for 22 years in prison, he's always been alone. 22 years in prison, he's never been able to talk to anybody. Now, here he is with everything going on, and we're telling him, we got you. No matter what, if they don't take you, then somebody will, but we got you. That instant connection. We were of two different races, probably two different walks of life, but kinship, connection, helped both of us heal. I say that to say because right now we all need healing. I know with everything going on, it's crazy right now. But the truth is, the communities we come from, the gang lifestyle, gangs are on damn near every street. Death is around the corner. It's been that way. In California, there's 35 prisons, $15.8 billion invested in incarceration. That's the truth. We know if you grow up in a certain zip code, there's a good chance that you're going to end up in prison. But all those years, with all that stuff, we start to build all this pain, all this resentment, experiencing all these things by hurting one another. But the truth is, pain with no healing is like a car with no brakes. It's only a matter of time before we crash. We need one another. We need to connect with one another. And that's what my thought of the day is that we may be able to come together and continue to connect, continue to grow, continue to build relationships. Now more than ever, we need this. It reminds me of something that I remember many years ago, and it was called The Cold Within. And it says, 6 humans trapped in a happenstance in a black and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood or so their stories told. Their dying fire was in need of logs. The first woman held hers back, for on the faces around the fire, she noticed one was black. The next man looking across the way saw one not of his church and couldn't bring himself to give the fire a stick of birch. The third man sat in tattered clothes and gave his coat a hitch. Why should he put his log to use to warm the ideal rich? The rich man just sat back and thought of all the wealth he had in store and how to keep his earnings from the lazy, shiftless poor. The black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from sight. For all he seen in his eyes was a chance to spite the white. The last man of this foretold group would only accept for gain. He'd only give to those who gave, was how he played the game. Logs held tight in death-frozen hands is proof of human sin. They didn't die from the cold without. They all died from the cold within. I say that to say, from the communities we come from and everything that we've experienced in our life and everything that we've had to go through, allow each other to connect with one another so we can be a bridge to get to the other side. We can do it together. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Allison, back to you.
Thanks so much. I just needed to remember to unmute myself. I hope that you all had a great day joining us yesterday. We look forward to being with you today. This little session is probably a little bit shorter than we imagined, but it's okay. You have a little bit of a break before the foundation session starts at 9:30. So you can go over to jump into that meeting. Then we have a little break, and then there's a social enterprise business session. There's a break, and then Father Greg with the closing keynote to wrap up the afternoon and our 2 days together. And we're so grateful that you're here. I was just sort of looking, Raleigh joined us. There's another person from Visalia, another person from Oregon, another person from Fort Worth. So we do literally have Granville, Ohio. We do literally have people sort of coming in from all over the United States, certainly, and all over the world. And again, we just can't express our thanks and how grateful we are that all of you are taking this time during what is such an emotionally charged time. We know that everyone that is serving in organizations with marginalized populations is sort of at a high stress level, and we're all just trying to be present. I think what Steve said about connections, they've never been more important. I've never felt them personally to be more important in making connections, and how we're doing that virtually now, it's so important. And while sometimes the Zooms get exhausting, it's just something that we know that we have to do. Steve said something really profound in his thought of the day. Pain with no healing is like a car with no brakes. Eventually it will crash. And I think he just talked about it so eloquently that we all together need to focus on our own healing and look at those that we're serving and the trauma that they have faced. And really, I think the idea, and what Steve has taught me, I've been working with him for 7 years, is more than anyone at Homeboy, his presence when you're with him is like a heat-seeking missile. And he looks you in the eye, and he's there for you, and he is talking to you, and he is guiding you. And that connection that he makes is instantaneous. And so if we can just learn from him and listen to what he said this morning and really take it to in our hearts, I think it's a really valuable lesson to not only take with us throughout the day here, but just in all of our work and in our personal lives with friends and family. And so let's all just work to be connected. Let's all work to be in kinship with one another. Let's all work to be compassionate. And really, I think let's all work to be present when it's so difficult. Just work to have that presence be your present to the other humans that are in your life. So thank you again for being with us. We'll see you at 9:30 for the foundation panel. Thanks so much. Thanks, Steve.